with us, Deepak. Let me quickly introduce our guest joining us this afternoon, Mohan Krishna, Karnataka BJP spokesperson with us on this broadcast. Also, Tauseef UR Rehman, political analyst, is with us. Tauseef UR Rehman, if I could come to you first. The Muslim side has opposed this plea, but if we go by the application that has been filed by the other side, they are very, very closely looking at a detailed survey, and they've cited several reasons for the same. They're saying that it is important to note and report ancient structure situated in the scheduled property, and that this is an ancient temple structure. So extremely confident at the face of it. What do you make of the developments taking place?
Ma'am, first of all, we have to respect if whatever sign is going to come out from the mosque, and if it's a mandir over there, and as you said, as your correspondent also discussed, that there are some swastik sign and other signs which belongs to a Hindu religion. But it's a very sad story. Because of my personal opinion, I don't trust anyone right now, whether it's a central government, state government, or whoever's looking after this whole case. Because, after 1 year, 6 months, I guess every mosque which is located in India will go under a survey, and something or the other will come out. So very cleverly, the Modi government is diverting the whole topic, whole narrative of this last 8 years, and they are making a communal harmony which it is not going to...
Tauseef UR Rehman, the courts will be looking at it. It's not a political party, a certain political party that is raking up the issue. If you talk about the Gyanvapi issue as well, you have 5 women petitioners who first raised the issue. Mohan Krishna, would you like to respond to Tauseef?
Obviously politically involved. Otherwise, staying from last 100 years, no one ever objected. Neither the Muslims objected, neither the Hindu objected.
And that's exactly why there is a big debate about, if this is the time to right the historical wrongs. And I'd like Mohan Krishna to come in on that. Mohan Krishna, do you agree? Do you agree to what Tauseef is saying? Because according to him, it's the BJP, it's the central government that is raking up the issue. He's completely disregarding the facts here. In Gyanvapi as well, we had 5 women petitioners who took up the issue to the court. Mr. Krishna, I think you're on mute. If you could please unmute yourself.
Sorry. I feel people are watching this throughout the country, and this is not the first instance in the country which is happening. And what Mr. Tauseef is talking, that is the sentiments of his side, what he's talking to the people of the country today. I'm sorry, Mr. Tauseef, you have to understand one thing. None of the government decisions have been put on these issues. The Supreme Court has taken the issue, and the court is taking the initiatives, and we are abiding to the court orders. If the court says it is X, it is X. If it is Y, it is Y. We are ready to accept it. Why you are not ready for that? Why you are blaming Mr. Modi and BJP government for that matter? The government is not interfering in any matters of the court. Who has asked you to go to the court? Who has asked you to go to the court? Because amicably you are not able to settle the issue. Now you are going to the court and you are saying you are blaming the BJP government for that matter. I'm sorry for that.
24/7 for Babri Masjid order. Everyone remembered me because I was there for 24/7. So we all accepted.
You break up that Babri Masjid.
But sir, the problem is that
drawing a parallel with the Babri Masjid issue is not going to yield any results. If we talk about Gyanvapi, it's a different story altogether. And in this case as well, the demand is that a survey be carried out. So this is the first stage that we're looking at.
Court has given the order. It is not the government has taken the decision.
Gentlemen, hold on with that thought. We're covering and looking at several angles. The SDPI has also taken up this issue and has used it to provoke instead. They say that Hindu side backed by RSS will know about the consequences if they try to come near the Malali Mosque. All right, so that's a legal response coming in, and as the battle is underway in the court now, there is certainly growing demand that there be a detailed survey. Let me go across to Mohan Krishna and Tauseef UR Rehman once again. Mohan Krishna, you were responding to Tauseef. Tauseef's completely pinning the blame on outside and saying that this is perhaps the BJP that is deploying its tactics to, turn its agenda into what it's calling communal tension. What would you say to Tauseef UR Rehman? Because remember, this is the first stage that we're looking at. As far as the Malali Mosque is concerned, it's only when the renovation was taking place that certain motives, certain indications came to light that has now urged all of these petitioners to take up the case.
See, we have to understand the history very well. The South Canara, especially the Mangalore belt, was ruined by Tipu Sultan in the past. We know the history very well. A lot of Hindus and Christians have been converted into Muslims So the reason is very simple, that they are trying to divide the country in the name of the masjid and other things. We are not talking anything about any such issues. It is not BJP which is raking up the issue. We are not instigating any communal. We are not bringing any disharmony of communal disharmony in the country. It is them. They are provoking their own people, and they are calling themselves for all these issues. We are not responsible for this.
Tauseef, the issue right now is not taking down the mosque. The issue right now is about conducting the survey. So we're looking at just the stage one. Why is there such a big opposition to finding out the truth? What could have possibly happened back then?
Ma'am, first of all, I was hearing those opposition leaders, they are giving such statements like "Samne aoge to something and kuch kar denge." First of all, I do not support this kind of statement which you are horrifying the people of Kerala or Varanasi or something like that. But you have to understand, ma'am, that if Aurangzeb and Tipu Sultan did all this, why they left all these things? If that fountain is a shivling in today's date, then why did not he broke the fountain as well? Why did he just left the fountain? And why Tipu Sultan, back in Malali, he left all those signs? He could have just rebuilt that mosque and he would have made that mosque once again. But the problem is that no one in India is against the Hindus or the Hindus are against the Muslim. This is the only and only area of Bharatiya Janata Dal Party which they don't belong to Hindu anymore. They belong to only organization and vote sectors. That's it. They're not. And I'm challenging you on this.
Well, the subject is open to interpretation, Tauseef UR Rehman. As for the Gyanvapi issue is concerned and the Malali Masjid is concerned, nobody has spoken of taking down any particular, mosque. Nobody has spoken of demolishing anything. This is just about people's right to worship. The 5 women petitioners in Gyanvapi were also seeking their right to worship.
I have a question to Tauseef.
Back in Babri Masjid was the agenda. Now this is the agenda. This Gyanvapi will be the agenda till 2020. Decision will not come so soon. Let me tell you. Maybe if I'll be wrong.
No agenda for us. It is the agenda you are fixing yourself.
Sir, you people should have some name. Besides,
let the truth come out.
Do not support
the survey. If it is not, why you are worrying, Tauseef? Why you are worrying so much? Let the survey be done. Let the court accept it. Let the court give the order of that matter.
I am not worrying, sir. But you people are diverting the main issues.
This is an issue. Let the set up in court.
The whole day, 65 days. Since last 8 years, people are only fighting for mandir and masjid. People are not fighting for...
Last 75 years,
people have just diverted the issue.
These voices were suppressed. Today they are raising their voices. Let them rise. Let them come out. That is what we are expecting. We want the truth to be there.
You people are very successful doing this. And of course, 110 times, not million times, I will blame Narendra Modi and Defense Minister and the Home Minister of this country.
Tauseef, the fact remains that one is to go stage by stage. The matter has been taken up by the courts. The courts will be hearing the matter in detail. A decision will be taken on whether or not a survey needs to be conducted, because there is an eager lot that just wants to find out what is it that happened back then. What is it that led to perhaps, if in this case, as is being claimed, building a mosque over the temple, and when is it that happened? So it's not really about depriving anyone of, their right to worship, but perhaps the other section that has an equal right to go and assuage their place of worship, that is the particular issue that is being looked at here.
Ma'am, why did the people in Gyanvapi did not allow the Hindus to go and worship? Why all of a sudden it got stopped? If the Muslims were allowed to do wuzu over there, I suppose the Hindus have all the rights, just like from last 40 to 50 years they were worshipping over there. They were being stopped. You know why they were being stopped? Just to create a havoc. Nothing else. Just to make it more chaotic. Why the Muslims are giving permission to go and read namaz on Friday and the Hindus are not getting permission? Why? This is all chalbazi done by BJP and no one else, ma'am. Who's running the country? Rahul Gandhi is not running the country. Narendra Modi is running the country right now.
Well, Tauseef, I believe that is up to the courts to decide, and that's exactly why we're only solely waiting for what the courts have to say and the observation that the court is making at this point in time. Hearing has begun is what we are being told. Let me go across to Deepak and then we'll bring in Imran as well. Deepak, I believe the hearing has resumed. What are the arguments that are being presented?
Yes, the update that we've got from inside the courtroom is that the hearing has just begun just about 5 minutes ago. Of course, we saw the Hindu side lawyer who made his way inside the court. Now, he, of course, has filed this application seeking that, there should be a survey that should be done. This survey should be done by a court-appointed commissioner. He's also sought a representative from the Archaeological Survey of India to be a part of this commission. We'll really have to see whether the court allows for that. More importantly, the Muslim side has also filed petitions seeking that all the other applications that have been filed earlier with regard to staking claim that this is a temple in this particular mosque, and they have argued that all of this is baseless. They do not have any sort of documentation to prove it, and they've asked for it to be dismissed. So we'll have to see what decides. More importantly, another side of the argument here is that this particular property is Waqf property, so the court really can't interfere is also an argument that's being presented. That's being countered as well by the Hindu side. So a very interesting set of arguments is expected to take place in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Whether, the matter will be taken up in detail today, and like, what happened in Varanasi, there was a day-to-day hearing that, of course, has been taking place for quite some time. So whether that is something that the judge here is going to decide, that only time will tell. But now, most importantly, the matter of the surveyor, the request for appointment of a surveyor here, and also dismissal of the application itself, these are going to be the two crucial points that is going to be presented before the judge. We'll have to see whether he takes a decision on this today or whether he's going to ask for more time. Also, we should understand that the Gyanvapi case that came up in the Supreme Court with regard to the survey, that was also cited by the lawyers here while presenting their case about a couple of hours ago. Now the hearing has just resumed, is what heard from inside the court. We'll of course keep bringing up all the constant updates for our viewers here from the Mangaluru Civil Court.
Absolutely. So the Hindu side lawyer to file petition seeking appointment of the court commissioner to survey the Malali Masjid, just like was done in the case of Gyanvapi Mosque as well. Let me go across to Imran on that. Imran, if we talk about the other side's version, the mosque committee, I believe, has been maintaining that close to 40 years ago, the old mosque was kept where it was and the area surrounding it was then amplified. So a larger structure was created around the old mosque is the version that they're sharing. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, they're saying that they went for the expansion of the entire the mosque premises, and they claim that they also had permission from the local panchayat. In fact, they went for renovation on April 21st. I beg your pardon. So they had permission from the local panchayat to go for extension of the mosque, and during that time when the mosque front structure was demolished for renovation, there is symbols of what BHP claims of Hindu temple-like structure was found, and they objected to it, and the third day they went to the courts asking for stay order on this issue, which stay order was given, and the area was barricaded off by the local administration. Now the mosque side said it's an 800-year-old mosque. They have documents, they have where still the practice is being carried out. It's not just an empty structure. The prayers have been conducted every day there. Only when they went for renovation, the issue happened. Now they also claim that 800 years ago the mosque structure was not like what we see today. There was syncretic culture, Indo-Islamic culture was there. That's on the basis of which this mosque was built. And they show other examples of other mosques across the country, like in Kerala and other places, especially in coastal belt of both Karnataka and Kerala. Now, whether this argument will be taken or not, we have to see. But the Hindu side is saying that to those for temples, the VHP, the Bajrang Dal, and our local BJP also saying that this used to be an earlier Hindu temple, but they didn't know about it. They only heard it orally, and now they have come to know after the mosque went for renovation. They also carried out a Tambula Prashna, a divination process. And according to them, that established that it's a temple and it was a Shaiva tradition. Whether that will be, they also going to submit that in the court by the lawyer. Whether the court will accept that or not, we have to see. The Congress, however, is saying that it is the duty of the Deputy Commissioner to look into this issue. They should have gone through the documents of the Endowment Department and both the Waqf Board. And if there was any reference to the temple earlier, like 700, 800 years before, then they should do what the document says. And if any aggrieved party, they can go to the court. They have been maintaining that the peace has to be maintained, but they also allege that this is an issue brought up by the BJP so that the next year elections we have in Karnataka and coastal belts, especially Karnataka coastal belt is called as called a saffron belt, and they want to solidify their position in the upcoming polls. Irrespective of that, the court hearing is going on now. The temples are demanding a survey, and in fact there was a meeting also conducted between Bharat Shetty, the MLA, local MLA, and both the parties, both Muslims and the VHP and Bajrang Dal, which was also opposed by certain saffron groups, saying that this is appeasement on the part of the Bharat Shetty. In fact, SDPI, which had earlier conducted a survey, program couple of days before, said that even not an inch of soil will be from the mosque will be given to the others. Anybody who's demanding it is saying that it's not a mosque structure. Now, in between all this, all eyes are now on the court. What the court will decide, whether it will allow for survey or not. And if the survey is done, whether the Muslim party will accept it or not, and ultimately what the survey will show up, that is also a controversy and point of contention if it goes whichever way.
Absolutely. Imran, this particular issue is now also slowly snowballing into a big political controversy. And let me bring in Mohan Krishna on that. Mohan Krishna, we had DK Shiv Kumar earlier on talk about this once again as an emotional issue. He said that emotional issues must be kept at home, and this is once again a deliberate attempt being made by one particular side to create disturbance. What would you say to these kind of political comments coming in? Because here you have him asking the centre to intervene while also pinning the blame on the BJP.
Congress, they don't have any ideas. They don't have ideology. They are confused in the country. Where they are standing, they don't know exactly. They are leaderless people, today. They cannot talk about the morality and these kind of issues. What kind of emotions is... See, I would like to ask a question to DK Shiv Kumar. They have ruled this country for so many years. Why they have suppressed the voices for so many years then? These voices were there today. Because it has come, because BJP, incidentally or coincidentally, BJP is there in the power. It doesn't mean that we are asking people to go to the court. It is both the sides they sought the time, they sat together where they could not come to a conclusion. Now they have gone to the court. See, the same thing. See, my simple question to my Muslim brothers is, if there was no temple, why they are worried? If it is a masjid only, let the court decide. People have gone to the court. Congress and opposition. Let me put this record on this record to you. Today and tomorrow, Communist Party of India, they are running a program in Mangaluru, that is in South Canada, on these issues only. On these issues only. Why the Muslims have been oppressed? Nobody has oppressed anybody here. We are going with the issue of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, and we are sure that people have understood. It is only few to gain politically. They were on the appeasement politics for all these years. Today, they have also understood it is not that that appeasement is not going to work. They have postponed most of the issues, and they have not taken up certain issues which was very important for them. Today, they are talking about all this. Congress has nothing to say about it. We are not, connecting these issues with elections.
Yes.
Elections, people will decide.
But the fact of the matter is, Mr. Krishna, we must not jump the gun, and we must not even conclude that a temple once here existed. Let's just wait for the courts to decide whether or not a survey will be conducted and perhaps see where this leads to. Now, a lot of developments coming in from the court, and quickly putting out some more details, and we'll go across to Imran on the same. I believe, Imran, now arguments are being presented and documents available from the masjid are being presented in the court. On this day, there is information coming in that the plaint was brought, and the question that has now come to light is whether Hindus were praying here. So that's an aspect that is also being touched upon as far as the ongoing arguments are concerned. What's going on in the court?
Well, the Muslim side is saying that this is actually a masjid, and there is not anybody's property, and in fact prayers were happening here for several years, and this issue has been created unnecessarily. What they've said is that the demolition is not of any house, it's our own masjid, and they did it for their own renovation, and nothing was illegal. In fact, they also showed the documents saying that they got permission from the local panchayat when they went for when they wanted to expand the mosque and went for the demolition of the mosque. So they're claiming that it's not any Hindu temple, it was a mosque which they themselves wanted to expand, and there was a permission granted to them. And also, importantly, they've asked the stay by the district administration to be removed and to allow for immediately for renovation work to go on. They're saying that it's a mosque.